Today we are here to recognize the senior class, specifically the individuals we're going to start with this morning, the individuals who have demonstrated an exemplary level of commitment to their education. These individuals, to be eligible for Miss Massillonian or the Outstanding Senior Boy, must have a minimum GPA of 3.3 and fewer than 24 absences during their time as students grades 9 through 11. I would trust that those of you underclassmen are paying close attention to those guidelines, because you too could be eligible for this in your senior year if you pay attention to your grades and your attendance first and foremost. That having been said, what we'd like to do first is to have those students who are eligible. They may not have chosen to be a candidate for these opportunities or for these honors, but we'd like to take a moment and ask those seniors who have a minimum 3.3 and fewer than 24 absences and are eligible to be candidates for Miss Massillonian or Outstanding Senior Boy, would you take a moment and stand? Thank you very much. You can sit down. Of those students, a select few chose to take this opportunity. Those students took the opportunity by writing an impromptu essay. They were then voted on by the senior class, a popular vote. They took part in teacher evaluations. And finally, they were scored on their student activities. Each part of that was tabulated together, and 12 candidates for Outstanding Senior Boy and 12 candidates for Miss Massillonian will be drawn from that pool. So we start with the candidates for Outstanding Senior Boy. As I call your name, would you please walk down? Okay, go to Mrs. Ridgely, okay, and she will guide you into the next steps as I announce them. But first, these 12 individuals. Luke Balizay. Cameron Sunkel. Mitchell Paulus. Nathan Santucci. Joshua Perry. Zane Meyer. Jacob Hess. Matt Herscher. James Hardwick Jr. Justin Gaddis. Dean Clark. Luke Brayler. Each of these individuals has received a rose. In just a moment, if they've not already, they're going to choose a name from a basket that has the name of the candidate for Miss Massillonian that they will be the escort for. We begin with Luke Balizay. Luke, can I have your paper? Cameron Sunkel. Destiny Stevenson. Luke Balazet will be escorting Ashley Hess. Cameron Sunkel will be escorting Destiny Stevenson. Next up, Mitchell Paulus. Okay, thank you. Mitchell will be escorting Victoria Menchez. Nathan Santucci. Nathan will be escorting Amaya Turley. Joshua Perry. Joshua will be escorting Michaela Garofalo. Zane Meyer. Thank you. Zane will be escorting Brianna Perkowski. Jacob Hess. The formal assembly is on January 11th, so shortly after we return from break, we'll have the formal assembly where these candidates will be answering questions of an impromptu nature. Jacob is escorting Diamond Haverstock. Matt Hersher. Congratulations. Matt Hersher will be escorting Hannah Gump. Underclassmen, if you have any questions regarding your eligibility, how you're doing on grades or attendance or other particulars to this program, make certain that you see Mrs. Snodgrass or Mrs. Hathaway. James. James Hardwick Jr. will be escorting Alexis Markley. Justin Gaddis will be escorting Gabriella Findley. Dean Clark will be escorting Megan Manson. And Luke Brayler will be escorting Mahaley Neese. So these 24 individuals are our candidates for Miss Massillonian and Outstanding Senior Boy. The formal assembly is on January 11th. We'll be on assembly schedule that day, where they will be answering impromptu questions from a field of judges. Again, underclassmen, by all means, take this opportunity to be involved in your education. This involves not only academics, but activities as well as attendance. Draw yourself into the program. Special thanks to the Alumni Association. They offer a $500 scholarship to each of the winners of this program. We're going to ask that the candidates please stay here, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to our administration to release you to your class. Please stay seated until you hear from them.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the 2019 Miss Massillonian and Outstanding Senior Boy Formal Assembly. Please welcome our panel of distinguished judges this morning. First, we have Mrs. Kathy Catazero Perry. She is the mayor of Massillon, a registered nurse, a degree in business from Malone, 6 children and 5 grandchildren. Thank you. Mr. Joel Fichter is a 1977 graduate of Washington High School, and he was the outstanding senior boy that year. He graduated in 1981 from Bowling Green State University and graduated from Akron University School of Law. He has practiced law in Massillon since 1984 and has been the magistrate at Massillon Municipal Court since January 2008. Our next judge is Mrs. Jacqueline Knight. Jacqueline is a 1997 alumni of Washington High School, and she was also a candidate for Miss Massillonian. She has 2 children and is the owner of Stark Glass. Our next judge is Mr. Jeff Bricker. Mr. Bricker is a 1982 graduate of Washington High School. He's been a financial advisor and a part of the Sideliner organization. He is a past president of the Tiger Booster Club and has served on the Massillon Parks and Recreation Board. And our final judge this morning is Mrs. Marva Dodson. She is also a graduate of Washington High School. She's a very active retiree, a retired nurse. She worked as one of the nurses at Franklin Elementary. She was the health coordinator for the preschool, and she was member of the leadership of the Stark County. Thank you, Mrs. Dodson. And thank you to all of our judges for being here this morning, and thank you to the committee for all of your time that you put into making this event special for the students of Washington High School. This is the 80th year for the Miss Massillonian Outstanding Senior Boy Assembly. If I could now have your attention to center stage. Our first couple this morning is Miss Ashley Hess and Mr. Luke Balazet. Ashley is the daughter of Dave and Lynn Hess. She's a tennis 3-year letter earner, president of National Honor Society, social chairman of National Technical Honor Society, vice president of DECA, musical advisory board member, officer of Pep Club, and member of the musical for 4 years. She plans to attend Miami University to major in architecture. Mr. Richard says, intelligent, creative, leader, and full of personality is the best way to describe Ashley Hess. Ashley's demonstration of critical thinking and problem-solving skills elevates her to successfully compete in an international environment in DECA. Her marketing skills and amazing attitude will lead her to a path of success. Escorting Ashley is Mr. Luke Balazet. Luke is the son of Keith and Biz Balazet. He is the president of student council, 2-year varsity baseball player, concert manager of choir, 2-year member of Washingtonians, 4-year member of drama club and musical, and member of National Honor Society. Luke plans to attend The Ohio State University and study computer and information science. Mr. Sorensen says, consequent to his exemplary, solid moral character, his passion for knowledge, and his ambition for accuracy, Luke evokes the absolute best from his peers and mentors alike. His strive for excellence induces a curiosity about all things that can foster personal and corporate improvement. An astounding leader, Luke is unequivocally competent, indubitably trustworthy, and impeccably virtuous. Thank you, Miss Ashley Hess and Mr. Luke Balazet. Next, please say hello to Miss Destiny Stevenson and Mr. Cameron Sunkel. Destiny is the daughter of Dee and Lauren Stevenson. She's a member of the Swing Band, member of National Honor Society and National Technical Honor Society, and the varsity boys basketball manager. She plans to attend Akron University to major in psychology. Mr. Crickbaum says, Destiny is a mature, goal-oriented young lady who works hard every single day. She is patient and kind to everyone and has a positive impact on all those that she comes into contact with. Destiny completes whatever tasks that are in front of her. There is no doubt in my mind Destiny will make a positive impact on society going forward. Cameron is the son of Sherry Sunkel. He is captain of the swim team, National Honor Society member, student council member, and member of the football team. Cameron plans to attend Hiram College to major in accounting. Mr. McConnell said, I've had the honor of knowing Cameron for the past 2 years. Cameron speaks volumes through his actions. His hard work, dedication, and unselfishness are contagious to those around him. He has represented Massillon the right way by being a great person, student, and athlete. Thank you, Miss Destiny Stevenson and Mr. Cameron Sunkel. Next, please welcome Miss Victoria Menches and Mr. Mitchell Paulus. Victoria is the daughter of Tom and Susan Menches. section and squad leader of the Swing Band, Wind Orchestra, National Honor Society, Pep Club, Senior Advisory, Prodigy Dancer at the Dance Movement. Victoria plans on studying marine biology and Spanish. Mrs. Palakis says, Tori is a diligent student who shows great pride in the task she takes on. As an inquisitive learner, Tori has taken on challenges and experiences to better understand the world around her. She has an impeccable work ethic, and her positive attitude will allow her the opportunities to reach great successes in the future. Mitchell is the son of Ken and Terry Paulus, section leader of the Massillon Tigers Swing Band, National Honor Society member, jazz band, wind orchestra, two-year choir member, tennis, drama club, and member of the wheelchair basketball team. Mitchell plans to study engineering at the University of Akron. Mr. Nussbaum said, Mitchell's leadership skills and work ethic have been a huge asset to the band program this year and will serve him well in the future. Thank you, Ms. Victoria Menches and Mr. Mitchell Paulus. Please give a warm Washington High School welcome to Miss Amaya Turley and Mr. Nathan Santucci. Amaya is the daughter of Callie Turley and Brandon Turley. She is a student council member, captain of the tennis team, National Honor Society member, member of the track team, Pep Club officer, and member of advisory board. Amaya plans to attend the University of Akron to study accounting. Mrs. Pulaski says, Amaya is a quiet storm of determination. She can do anything she puts her mind to. Her effort is relentless. She is also one of the sweetest girls I have ever met. She always speaks kindness. Amaya makes the world a better place, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for her. Nathan is the son of Wendy and Jeff Santucci. He is a member of the Swing Band, sousaphone section leader, member of Thespian Society, Drama Club, musical, choir president, and Ohio All-State Honors Choir. He's a two-year Washingtonian, member of National Honor Society, Wind Orchestra, and Pep Band. He will be attending Bowling Green University to major in marine biology. Mr. Myers says, Nathan is a young man filled with inspiration and drive. He is continually working to improve the world around him, and we are all better because of his efforts. Thank you, Miss Amaya Turley and Mr. Nathan Santucci. Next, we welcome to the stage Miss Michaela Garofalo and Mr. Josh Perry. Michaela is the daughter of Michelle Knight and Matthew Garofalo. She has been a cheerleader for the past 4 years, cheer captain for basketball season, and member of National Honor Society. She plans to attend Kent State University to major in criminology and justice. Mr. Citron says, Michaela's skills, talents, and attributes meld together into a highly efficient young person. Her work ethic and attention to detail are already at a level commensurate with a productive working adult. It's been a great pleasure to watch her achieve at Washington High School. I look forward to seeing her matriculate onto her next, undoubtedly successful endeavor. Josh is the son of Chris and Sean Perry. He is a member of the National Technical Honor Society, the Chess Club, and part of the Media Arts WHS-TV. He plans to go to college to study media arts in preparation for joining the television industry. Mr. Foster says, Josh is a good guy. I mean, he really can get along with anyone. His positive attitude and dedication to personal goals are unbelievable. There is a young man who never embraces excuses. Thank you, Miss Michaela Garofalo and Mr. Josh Perry. Let's give a round of applause for Miss Brianna Perkowski and Mr. Zane Meyer. Brianna is the daughter of Brian and Cheryl Perkowski. She is the Vice President of Student Council, Business Manager of Advanced Choir, Squad Leader in the Massillon Tiger Swing Band, 2-year Washingtonian, member of National Honor Society, Wind Orchestra, member of Musical and Women's Chorus. She plans to attend the University of Akron to major in psychology. Mrs. Riley says, having worked with Brianna Perkowski for all 4 years of high school, she is on the path to a bright future. A self-starter, Brianna will continue to thrive in life because of her tireless work ethic and extreme dependability. Her top-notch organizational skills and tenacity for success are truly unparalleled. Brianna is a champion. Zane is the son of Jolene Meyer. He is a 4-year baseball player, 2-year football player, 1-year bowler, National Honor Society member, National Technical Honor Society vice president, 2-year DECA president, and the Village Idiot captain. He plans to attend Ohio University to major in marketing and minor in management information systems. Mr. Richards says, it has been an honor and a pleasure to know and watch Zane grow from the time I first met him as a 5th grader until now. Over that time, I witnessed a young man that put 100% into any activity that he was involved with, whether it was school, football, baseball, or his time as a village idiot. Whatever he chooses to do in the future, I know he will be a major success. Thank you, Ms. Brianna Perkowski and Mr. Zane Meyer. Please welcome Ms. Diamond Haverstock and Mr. Jacob Hess. Diamond is the daughter of Bridget Haverstock. She's a majorette in the swing band for 4 years, 1-year majorette section leader, 2-year member of Pep Club, member of National Honor Society, 2-year member of HOSA, and member of the basketball band. She plans to attend Ashland University and major in nursing. Mrs. LaFleur says, Diamond is an exceptional young lady. Her level of ambition, dedication, and determination is exemplified by her level of commitment in both her academics and extracurricular activities. She possesses a gentle and compassionate nature that is rare to find and will touch many lives as she pursues her career in the healthcare field. Jacob is the son of Mary and Brian Hess. He is captain of the soccer team, the treasurer of National Honor Society, member of the tennis team, and the drama club. He plans to attend The Ohio State University and study atmospheric sciences. Mr. Citron said, Jacob Hess is a hard-working, fair-minded, reasonable young man. His time at WHS has been filled with success and achievements that have been astounding to witness. He is the type of student that makes an educator strive to create better lessons. Thank you so much, Ms. Diamond Haverstock and Mr. Jacob Hess. Next, please welcome Ms. Hannah Gump and Mr. Matt Herscher. Hannah is the daughter of Martin Gump and Renee Stoyer. She is the squad leader in the Massillon Tiger Swing Band, Jazz Band, and Pit Orchestra. She plans on attending The Ohio State University and majoring in pre-veterinary sciences. Mrs. Pulaski says, Hannah is brilliant, funny, and hardworking. Beyond that, she is humble about her talents. She is a friend to everyone. Hannah lights up the room with her laughter and smile. She also knows how to work for what she wants. She is a determined young woman who will achieve any goal she sets for herself. Matt is the son of David and Elizabeth Herscher. He is a section leader in the Massillon Tiger Swing Band, vice president, National Honor Society, jazz band, French club, tennis, pit orchestra, wind orchestra, and 2-year member of choir and drama. He plans to attend The Ohio State University with a major in mathematics and a minor in education. Mr. Conaway said, Matt brings an intellectual joy to the classroom. Dedicated, honest, and caring, Matt is a true role model for other students. Thank you, Ms. Hannah Gump and Mr. Matt Herscher. Say hello to Miss Alexis Markley and Mr. James Hardwick, Jr. Alexis is the daughter of Lisa and Drew Markley. She is the Secretary of National Honor Society, Treasurer of Student Council, Section Leader in the Massillon Tiger Swing Band, Vice President of the Choir, Wind Orchestra, Jazz Band, Washingtonians, Musical Member, and Women's Chorus. She plans to study ecology and conservation biology at Bowling Green State University. Mr. Neal says, Alexis has been an outstanding example of dedication, hard work, and perseverance. Her leadership will surely be missed after she graduates. I have no doubt that she will be a success in whatever she puts her mind to in the future. James is the son of James Hardwick Sr. and Deborah Hardwick. He is a squad leader in the Massillon Tiger Swing Band, Jazz Band. He's on the tennis team, National Honor Society, 3-year choir member, drama club, musical, and French club. He will be attending The Ohio State University and majoring in engineering or pre-law. Mr. Conaway said, Jimmy's unique take on life is underscored through an unmatched work ethic that leads to many accomplishments. A natural leader, his potential to impact our community and our society are limitless. Thank you, Ms. Alexis Markley and Mr. James Hardwick, Jr. Next, we welcome to the center stage Ms. Gabriella Findley and Mr. Justin Gaddis. Gabriella is the daughter of David and Rebecca Findley. She is the treasurer of National Technical Honor Society, member of National Honor Society, vice president of Senior Advisory Board, PEP Club officer, teaching professions, career technical, member of Educators Rising, and captain of the girls cross country team, and she has ran track for 3 years. Gabriella plans to attend Miami University to major in botany and minor in nutrition. Mrs. Dietrich says, when I think of Gabriella, not only do I think of a strong, competent young woman, but I think of someone who has a personal commitment to excellence. I've witnessed her exceptional work ethic and her healthy perspective on tackling obstacles she may face. One of her best qualities is that she is not afraid to try new adventures. When visiting Gabby during her field experience at Gorell, it was refreshing to see her interact with those children and observe the rapport that has been established between her, the staff, and the students. Justin is the son of Sandy and Brian Gaddis. He is the captain of the football team, member of National Technical Honor Society, and the marketing treasurer. He plans to study marketing at the University of Akron. Mrs. Reed said, Justin is genuinely a good kid. He is smart and very hardworking. He is always prepared and on time and always has a positive attitude. When something needs to be done, he just does it. Justin leads by example. Without talking, he makes a loud statement in my class. Thank you, Ms. Gabriella Findley and Mr. Justin Gaddis. Give a Washington High School welcome to Ms. Megan Manson and Mr. Dean Clark. Megan is the daughter of Eric and Amanda Manson. She's a 4-year letter winner and senior captain of the volleyball team. She is president of National Technical Honor Society and a member of National Honor Society. She's an FCA member, PEP Club officer, DECA secretary, and an advisory board member. She plans to attend the University of Cincinnati to study pre-dentistry and then continue to specialize in orthodontics. Mr. Richards said, Megan is goal-oriented and the voice of reason. She has an amazing ability to be humble and lead at the same time. Megan's uncanny determination enabled her to be a state and international qualifier in DECA. Her intelligence and gleaming personality will be instrumental in fulfilling her life and career goals. Dean is the son of Melissa and William Clark. He is a 4-year football player, 4-year track member, 2-year National Technical Honor Society member, 2-year DECA Community Service chairman, and a 2-year football captain. He plans to attend Kent State University to major in business and minor in management information systems. Mr. Hackenbrack said, "Dean has been a model student athlete since he first stepped foot on our campus. He is the picture of what we want every Tiger football player to look like. Everything that he does is to the best of his ability. He knocks out grades the same way that he knocked out opposing players, and we all had the chance to see what that looked like each and every week." Thank you, Ms. Megan Manson and Mr. Dean Clark. Our final couple this morning is Ms. Mahaley Neese and Mr. Luke Brailer. Mahaley is the daughter of Michelle Neese, Jeffrey Neese, Connie, and Irvin Boney. She is the squad leader and section leader of the swing band, jazz band, and member of the pit orchestra. She's in the nursing career technical program, member of National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, and she's the senior advisor on student council. She plans to study at Altman College to major in nursing. Mrs. Smithheiser said, "Mahaley is one of the kindest students I have ever had. She is always willing to help others. She is also very mature for her age. These qualities make her a great leader." Luke is the son of Tom and Amy Brailer. He's a 4-year football player, 2-year baseball player, teen court member, National Honor Society member, and National Technical Honor Society member, and a member of the chess club. He is planning to continue his internship with Timken Research and to obtain a degree in mechanical engineering. Mr. Kircher, Luke's engineering instructor, says that Luke has been a hard worker and a self-starter. He is proud Luke was chosen to co-op with Timken Company during his senior year. Luke has a bright future in the engineering field. Thank you, Ms. Mahaley Neese and Mr. Luke Brailer. I would now like to introduce the Master of Ceremonies for the rest of the morning. Please give a nice round of applause for Mr. Matthew Citron.
Thank you, Mrs. Pulaski. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome. And I have the rest of the morning here to kind of guide you through the rest of this program, our 80th Miss Mass Outstanding Senior Boy event that we have here in Massillon. As I thought about this, I realized there's actually 5 different audiences that I need to speak to today. There's the audience here in the room. There's the audience in third mods, all those third mod students who are back there listening attentively. There's our community who is out watching this, and this will be aired to the community on Massillon Cable. And then there's the future group, because these get posted to YouTube. So there's a 4th generation of people who are, I don't even know who they are, but we'll try to address some things to them. And then the 5th group, it's these people behind me. And there are 24 hardworking young men and women who are here today to answer some questions. And if you would forgive me for a moment, I want to address some comments specifically to them. So to the 24 of you who have entertained us on stage, on the fields, in the classrooms, who have made us be better as a community, and although I have been your teacher and your mentor and advisor, and now your master of ceremonies, you have actually educated me quite a bit. And I want to say thank you to all the hard work that you've done. Sincerely, thank you very much. In our city, we are all in for kindness. Got a plug for you there. We're all in for kindness. And in my opinion, one aspect of kindness is telling people how you truly feel and that you care about them. And ladies and gentlemen on stage, I truly do care and feel for you, and I'm concerned for your well-being, and I'm here to help you out, and I'm here to make this event as positive as I can be for you, and enjoyable for you. So to the students in third mods, you got your shout out there. Pay attention, it's gonna be great. Maybe you'll be on stage. To the community members, thank you for your continued support. We really appreciate it. To the future audience, I hope my jokes are somewhat relevant, but I don't know who you are, so yeah. And then to the people here in the audience, thank you very much for your attention. And because these are the people that we're here to see, and I care about them greatly, let's ask them some like off-the-cuff questions and just make them answer some questions. Won't that be a great way to show how much we care about them? To help me with that process, I'm gonna bring out Katie Snodgrass. Katie, come on out. Katie's gonna be our question girl today. Katie and I have been on stage now for the third year doing this. We're becoming a little duo. Do you have any words of advice for them this year?
Good luck.
Good luck. Excellent. It is Katie's 17th birthday, so happy birthday, Katie. It's a great way to spend her 17th birthday here on stage. Well, I can think of no better people to start this off than the student leaders of our building. We have the President of National Honor Society and the President of Student Council, Luke Balazet and Ashley Hess. Come on down, you guys are first for your first questions. All right, so as they're making their way through, I've got a series of note cards with somewhat embarrassing stories and events to share as they go through. For those of you who are not familiar with the process, one of these two young people is going to step forward. They are going to go to the basket. The basket's going to come to you, hopefully. She's going to pick two of those questions. She doesn't have to answer both of them. She has to answer one. She's going to take a moment to look through those questions. She's going to process a little bit, and then she's going to put one back in the basket, give the other one to me. I'll read it out to you so that you all can hear it. And in the meantime, she would like to know that her family and her sister especially, she really appreciates your attendance here. Her sister was on stage here a few years back. I remember standing right here next to her. And then I asked a series of questions from some of these, but I think Ashley, at the point, we've had a lot of time together. I'm the advisor of National Honor Society, so Ashley has spent a lot of time working together with me and trying to get things that are dialed in terms of the National Honor Society. So I actually have a great amount of time that I've spent with her as she's developed as a young leader and has done a great job within that organization. What do you think? You're ready. All right, excellent. Ashley has chosen the question. If you were an animal, what would you be and why?
If I were any animal, I would choose to be the giraffe because I would like people to look up to me as a role model and a mentor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, now you know the process. Luke's got it. He's into his two questions. In the meantime, Luke had a little bit of a leg up. Luke's leg up is that his mom was on stage here as one of the Miss Mass candidates. We don't know what year. We don't need to say that, right, Luke? We don't need to worry about it. We don't need to worry about it. I had Luke write out his index card, and if any of you know Luke, we can't read his handwriting. We're not sure how he's been so successful all year long in all his high school career because we kind of just look at it and go, yeah, that looks right. Well, it's Luke. It's got to be close to right. Oh, Luke, I'm sorry. I was just telling some stories about you. You got a question for me?
Yes.
Or I have a question for you. Luke, how do you deal with stress and anxiety? Oh, a good question considering today's event.
So I deal with stress and anxiety. The first thing I do is watch movies. That is my favorite pastime. I love going to the movie theaters. Whenever I walk in and get into the movie, it's a whole nother world, and I literally forget everything in the outside world and am in the movie. So that's the first thing I do. The second thing I do, which is probably the best, is spend time with my friends. Cameron Sunkel, he's back there. His basement is a personal favorite of mine for hanging out with our friend group. So watching movies and spending time with my friends really just eases me. It just reminds me that those are really the important things in life, the things that matter to you, and not the stress and anxiety and the stuff you're stressing over. So thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Ashley. All right, well, I guess we're going to have to check out what's going on in the Sunkel basement. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring up Cam Sunkel and Destiny Stevenson, who are our next couple. Hopefully, Cam will get a nice question that he can elaborate upon that. I don't know. Who's going first, guys? Destiny. All right, Destiny. We're going to, in that same venue here, and we're going to see that format as it continues. Destiny has told me that if there is one thing that she is, it is a baseball fan. And she is a baseball fan through and through, bleeds for the Indians, and will follow them no matter what. Have you got a question already? But I have, okay. No, I'm not going to. Well, they don't want to listen to me, Destiny. They're here to listen to you. Destiny, if you were going on a trip, would you rather travel by plane or train? And please explain your answer.
If I were going on a trip, I would rather travel by train because I believe that you can see more when you travel by train than in a plane, and you're just up in the sky and everything's so small and it's like oblivious to you. So I would rather travel by train to see more. Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. All right. So we'll see what Cameron pulls forward here. In the meantime, Cameron would like to give a shout out. They don't actually get a chance to speak to the audience besides answering their question, and he would like to give a shout out to Coach McConnell, who's been instrumental in his work here at high school, and he really appreciates that. And I should add in that he's got also all members of my family. So, but Coach McConnell came first. I'm sorry. Cam is one of those students who is quietly observant to the point where you have to really pay attention, because if you say something, he's gonna remember it and then tell you where it was or what you said. And so he really does make you focus as an educator. And it's kind of an interesting, he doesn't say much, but when he does say it, it's usually spot on and just a little bit annoying. Just a little bit, because he remembers every last thing. And then I've just recently learned that he is a San Francisco 49ers fan, so I can't really hold that against him, but that whole annoying part I will. You all set, buddy? Yeah. All right. All right, Cameron. Your schedule just suddenly cleared, and your entire day is free. How will you spend your time?
The way that I would spend my time was actually with my friends, like Luke Ballas. I said I'd spend it with him, Mitchell Paulus, Matt Hersher, Nate Santucci, most of the boys behind me, because they're just a fun time, and I love spending time with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Cam. There you go. Well, I think we've got this either queued up perfectly or it's just working out that way. Mitchell Paulus is going to escort now Victoria Mentes up, and we'll see what kind of question that Mitchell gets on this one as well. While they're coming here, and then we're going to see who picks first. Mitchell's going to pick first. Excellent. Go ahead and grab your two questions. Take a look. There are some people that I absolutely need to thank for this event. Obviously, we've already talked to the community, and thanked them for their support. But we have people here in the building, and there is a full committee, and they are on the back of your program there that make this event happen. Although Mrs. Pulaski and I are the adults who kind of stand up in front of you, it is not just the two of us. There is a team of people who gets together and goes through the process to make this day happen. I'll thank the rest of them later. You ready? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Oh, short and sweet. You ready? Yeah. Netflix or YouTube? Explain.
Although I have a Netflix account, I would have to go with YouTube. It's a database where anyone can upload videos, and you can find very inspiring videos, funny videos, whatever you prefer, and you can find some pirated Netflix films on there as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitchell. Victoria is going to take a look at hers. I have trouble calling you Victoria. I don't know. It's for the last 2.5 years I've called her Tori. That Victoria, it is very formal and it's lovely, but her name to me is Tori. It's Tori Mentes. So Tori has recently decided that it is going to be in her future to look into biological sciences. That makes me so happy as a biology teacher to know that in one little part, I may have inspired this young lady to pursue a field in something that I truly love and is dear to my heart. And you ready? Excellent. I hate to rush you guys, but you guys are doing great. All right, if you could give one piece of advice to a freshman, they're sitting out there in their third mod classes right now. So freshmen, pay attention. You got a piece of advice from Victoria Menches. What would it be and why?
To freshmen, I would say, first of all, don't give in to peer pressure, but more importantly, don't be afraid to fail or make mistakes. Not only in the classroom do we all make mistakes, but also in your everyday life, we all mess up, but the best thing you can do is learn from them, and as long as you learn from them and make yourself better, that's all you can do. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mitchell. Thank you, Victoria. All right, we're going to bring up to the stage here Miss Amaya Turley and Mr. Nathan Santucci. So some of those committee members that I had mentioned earlier are standing in the background there, and they've worked very hard to make this a positive experience. Maya, go ahead. I'm going to keep thanking those people while you do that. Plenty of time. Mrs. Megan Ridgely, who was also a Miss Massillonian candidate back in her days here at Washington High School, and Mr. Chuck Richards, who is a part of our DECA program and our marketing program there. Mr. Sheets and Miss Smithheiser, the jazz band who was playing for you so lovely behind. You never see them. They were just, that was not recorded music. That was live music that was being played by these fine musicians over here. Maya, you ready? Yeah. Excellent. Okay. All right. Oh boy. Loaded question. Who is your all-time favorite teacher and why? Mod 4 biology sophomore year.
My favorite all-time teacher was Miss Pulaski because she was so engaged and she loved what she taught, and it just made me love ecology and environmental science. Thank you.
Thanks, Maya. That's excellent. All right, Nathan, a blind draw. All right. Again, back to some of those committee members, just as Nathan has his time out. Like I said, it's a team of people that makes this event come through that you don't get a chance to see. We've got Mrs. Dietrich is involved, Mr. Conway is involved, Amy Brailer is involved, Steph Hathaway is involved, Wendy Snodgrass is involved, and the list goes on, and all of these people do a fantastic job to assemble the pieces and parts from the stage setting to the sound to the collections of the materials to inspiring these kids to do this. I look out in the audience and there are students who very easily could have been on this stage as well. And there are dozens of them in these classes each year. So the inspiration to have them come back and to do this is really wonderful, and that team of people really do help them to make that a reality. If I have to go to the cards here for Nathan, actually, I'm not going to go to Nathan's card because Nathan and I had a nice conversation in his sophomore year where above and beyond going through the biology, Nathan was really working on some other things. And to be able to sit down with a 16-year-old young man and have a heart-to-heart conversation and to help him to get through some things and to be able to be better and more successful, it always speaks highly of a student, or makes me feel great to be able to let students feel that comfortable to be able to speak to me. And I really did enjoy that time as I spent with Nathan in his sophomore year. Perfect timing, as I would expect nonetheless. Let me see what you got here for me. Nathan, do you think teenagers spend too much time on social media? And please explain why.
This one's kind of a hard question to answer because on one side you've got to where everyone thinks, oh man, their head's in their phone. I know my grandma always yells at me, get your head up. But anyways, I don't think that teenagers spend too much time on social media though, because as mentioned before, hanging out in Cameron's basement, we have a whole little group of us that we can keep connected on social media with. And I'm hoping that social media can be a good platform to keep us all connected as we continue on into college and then the rest of our lives. So.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Amaya. Excellent. You can see now, after these first four couples have been up, how come these are the best and the brightest of Washington High School. They have excellent answers. And now we have Mr. Josh Perry and Miss Michaela Garofalo. Michaela's going to go first. Michaela, and I think I know her, and I'm going to guess I have this spot on. I spent a lot of time with these students, as I mentioned. My guess is, Michaela, you've got a pair of Converse on right now? Yes, she does. All right. There it is. So, and those are one of those things, those little adds-on pieces and parts about how these students and I get to relate and interact with each other. One time at the end of sophomore year, Michaela actually called me a cactus, and I took that as a compliment. Although I am a bit prickly from time to time, I'm also hopefully supportive to the ecosystem, and she was trying to make a nice analogy about that, and I did appreciate it. I also asked Michaela if there was one thing that she would love to do if she were to be able to do it, and she would say she would ride that Steel Vengeance, and she would wait on hours at Cedar Point to ride that Steel Vengeance. And a little piece of irony of how our lives with our students interact is the day that she was riding the Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point, I happened to also be there with my nephew. Although we never crossed paths because she was probably waiting online for 4.5 hours, and I rode everything else that day. Y'all set? All right. Let's see what you've got. Which local restaurant has the best wings and why?
I think the local restaurant that has the best wings has to be Erie Street Pub. I go there after like football games, and my favorite wings to get is bourbon, and I think they have the best wings because they're very flavorful, and they don't have a lot of fat on them, and I don't really like chicken that much, and I really like their wings, so thank you.
Thanks, Michaela. All right, Josh is going to go through his 2 questions. Josh has a leg up even more so than anyone else on this stage, and for no other reason than both his mother and father were on this stage and made top 5. So pretty sure the Perry household was, he was being drilled with questions for the last 3 weeks and cajoled to make sure that he would actually do this event. Josh and I have a history of trying to make him to do things, and I'm pretty sure that we know that if we really want to make him do something, he just won't do it. His quote is actually quite excellent, is that he is easy to talk to, but it's hard to convince sometimes. Josh, hey Josh, when you're ready, that paper's due today. Okay? Today. So Josh and I have a joke that one time I had said, he asked me, when was that paper due? And I said, yes, because I didn't have the date. It's today. It's in your binder, isn't it? Yes, it is. All right, here's your question, Josh. What is the one piece of advice that someone has given you to take with you to college?
So a piece of advice that someone has given me that I would take to college ties back to one of my favorite teachers, Mr. Foster, who was the one who gave me the quote today. He says, don't embrace excuses, embrace solutions, as I know a lot of people who have had him would know that. And I think that's just such a great quote to live by, and I will totally be doing that in college. He once said that if you think high school is hard, college is just even harder. And that's just been something that's been in my mind since freshman year. And I always think about it whenever I'm in a bit of a bind. I always think about, well, college is going to be a little harder, but just don't embrace the excuses, embrace the solutions that you can have out there, and you'll be just fine. So, thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Michaela. All right, Mr. Zane Meyer is going to escort Miss Brianna Perkowski up to the stage. All right. Who's going first, guys? All right, Bree. So as she goes through her questions, you may recognize Bree's name, but you may not recognize her face. That's because at her 5'1" frame, she's been hiding behind a 28-inch bass drum for the last 4 years on the swing band. And I've never gotten the story as to why, hey, let's pick an instrument. Let's go with the biggest possible drum there is. I'm going to carry it around like this. I'm going to walk down the hallways like this on the band because I can't see what's going on. I never understood that. We're going to talk about that at lunch today, okay? So we'll figure that out. She would also like to tell you that she got one of the greatest mugs of all time, and that mug is "Been There, Done That." Now, she's not a coffee drinker, but her nickname, as most of us know here, is Bina. You ready? Excellent. All right. What is your favorite kind of pet, and why?
My favorite kind of pet would be a bird. I have a bird myself. It's a sun conure. Her name is Roxy. That's my favorite kind of pet because if I'm having a bad day, I can always turn to her and we kind of cuddle under the blankets, and she just makes me feel safe and secure. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. All right, Zane. At the risk of the house kind of coming down, Zane would like to give a shout out to the Village Idiots. Now, that's almost guaranteed an applause line. We can almost always guarantee that one. As meeting Zane as a sophomore, in the first day of class, I asked a nearly impossible question of my students of his sophomore year. And he was the last mod of my day that he was there. And no one had gotten the question correct. And I was just kind of setting the tone for the first day of class until 8th mod, until Zane raised his hand and answered the question. And I looked at him and I was like, wow, this is a guy. And then the year kind of went on. Zane, kind of flies, under the radar a little bit until the final exam. I don't know where this guy came from, and all of a sudden, Zane pulls a perfect score on my final exam in honors biology. And he looks at me and he goes, hey, Mr. C, I set the tone on the first day and I finished strong. You ready, Zane?
Yeah.
All right. Not quite your finishing line, though. You still got to go through the rest of your senior year. But for today, what is the best food that a mom or grandma cooks? And be sure to describe it.
All right, so my favorite food that my mom or my grandma cooks would have to be fruit pizza because it's a combination of my two favorite foods, fruit and pizza. It's just so good, and I love it every time they make it. Thank you.
Thanks, Zane. All right. Next up to the stage, we're going to bring Jacob Hess and Diamond Haverstock. And as they're moving up here, I want to, if you take a look at all the young men who are dressed up on the stage, these tuxedos were provided by American Commodore Tuxedo over at Belden Village, which is a great facility. They have a really nice selection. All of the tuxedos that you see on stage, including my own, came from that organization. And they have been very generous and very kind to us over the years to be supportive. On top of that, they have a program which is known as a prom rep. It's nothing more than if you bring 4 or 5 of your friends in, then you guys all get discounts towards their formal wear that they have. And that's good for community members as well if you have a wedding or an event for that. So we want to make sure they would give them a nice plug as well as Jacob is looking through. I have way too many stories to tell about Jacob. And I think I'm just going to let him answer his question instead. All right. What would you say to that? That's fair. Jacob, many people take pilgrimage to holy sites. If you could take a pilgrimage to any place in the world, where would it be and why?
So every year, my family takes a trip to Florida, Marco Island. It's right on the beach. It's super pretty. And the reason why I would choose that place is because it's very relaxing to go sit in the ocean and just breathe and not care about any of the stresses that you may have. And then also because we have made so many memories there as a family that it's just great and it feels like home. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. All right. So as Diamond is previewing her questions, you may have noticed the corsages and the boutonnieres that the men and women up here on stage are wearing. Those are all been provided and created by Patty Cormola and her organization, Patty Cormola Flowers. So thank you very much, Patty. They look lovely. They are excellent, and it really does dress up the night. We really appreciate that contribution. After this, we are all going to go with the judges down to Cosmo's Grill, and these young students are going to then have a more formal interview with the panel of judges. So this is not the end of this event today, and Cosmos helps us out. They give us a nice place to work, so I'd like to give them also a little bit of kudos and credits for their continued contribution and support for this event. And Diamond was in my second mod honors biology class during her sophomore year, which as I look around and think about on the stage, I think the entire class is pretty close to being here, except for the folks who moved away. So you got a question? Yeah. Excellent. Let's go ahead and see what this one is. You just won $1,000. What will you do with that money?
What I would do with the $1,000 is first, I would spend it on what I would need, and I would help my family with anything they needed. They've been my #1 supporter ever since I've got my life started. What I would do with the rest is save some for the future, help them out, help myself out, pay for what I need, and then I would donate the rest to charities and help them out. So thank you.
Thank you, Diamond. Thank you, Jacob. Matthew Hersher is going to escort Hannah Gump up to the stage to answer their questions. They're doing pretty well, aren't they, Katie? Yeah, and they're moving right along. It's excellent. They're really doing well. I'd like to take a quick moment to thank Mr. Eric Myers, who is all the sound, lighting, stage. The facility that we have here is all accredited to his hard work and the maintenance of this facility and the way in which it really looks nice and the sound quality. All of those things are controlled by Mr. Eric Myers and his staff of students who help him to make this accomplished. They were here early this morning getting everything set up and running through sound checks, so it's really wonderful. And Mr. Myers, we do appreciate it. You make me sound better than I am. I appreciate that, sir. So Hannah is going first. She's got her 2 questions. Hannah is what we would call, how would I describe Hannah? Hannah and I, we joke. She has a caustic sense of humor, which, as the cactus reference indicates, I love. That's great. For the whole duration of her junior year, every day on her way down to her first mod class, she gave me a high five until the last day of school, where I was totally ready for it, and then she just, whoop, psych, didn't do it. One day, and she raised her hand like, here, high five, and then nope, totally pulled away on it. So that's the kind of relationship that Hannah and I have, which is fantastic. All right, you ready, kiddo?
Yeah.
All right. If you could own any wild animal as a pet, what would it be and why?
If I could own any wild animal as a pet, it would be an elephant, because they're really big and cute and they remind me of just really big dogs. And I love any animal, but elephants are probably my favorite. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Hannah. All right, Matthew's going to review his. Matthew is one of those students who will, as a young man, come through and he will purposefully look to shake your hand. And that's not a very common in high school, but I always enjoy it. And he's very emphatic with his handshakes as well. So he's learning at an early age the value of a handshake. He's spent time on stage here. He's been in the dramas. He was on stage in the middle school as well. And I believe he had the role of. Stop you right there. I'm gonna. Oh, you got a question? Okay. All right. Instead of that, let's answer this question. We'll do that. Okay. What Disney princess or prince would you be and why?
The Disney prince that I would be Aladdin, because he has a genie. That's pretty cool. And also, he changes throughout the movie. He starts as selfish, and then towards the end, he changes himself, and he ends up doing what is right instead of what benefits himself. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Hannah. Mr. Hardwick, if you would be so kind as to bring Miss Markley up to the stage, we'd appreciate that. So, Mr. James Hardwick is going to bring Miss Alexis Markley up to the stage, and as they decide who is going to be going first, they will review. Oh, we've got it. All right. As you were listening to the bios, you may have caught that Alexis is also looking into a biological science career. And it's just wonderful to see these students who have been inspired by the programs here at WHS. And although we don't have a specific biological science career in tech, we do have many career in techs that inspire these young people to go on. And I think that those career in tech programs and those career in tech instructors have really helped to drive and make our program here at Washington High School a far superior program. And we really do appreciate their support of this and all of these students who, most of them, are involved in some way or another in our career in tech program. And it really has quite gone a long way. So that's a great accolade and all the hard work of Mr. Jamie Palma and as well as Mr. Anthony Thornsberry. Mr. Thornsberry, by and by, was also an outstanding senior boy candidate. Alexis, you all set? Excellent. Could you live without technology? And please explain your answer.
I would say that I could not live without technology because it does allow you to stay connected with your friends and family, but not only in your immediate circle, but all over across the world. And you could participate in different types of activities and donate to organizations without having to physically be there and still make your mark and your impact. Thank you.
Well done. Good job. Thank you. All right. In the program, it says James, but this is another, I only know you as Jimmy, and I'm sorry. It's hard for me to change that. As Jimmy's going through and reviewing his questions, we have a few more thank yous, and we appreciate our administrative staff here at Washington High School and in the entire district. Mr. Salvino has been a huge supporter of us, and Mr. Lautenschlager is our new principal, and really bringing that forward, and we're really happy the direction that we're headed, and we thank both of those gentlemen and the rest of our admin staff who has been such a powerhouse behind allowing these programs to be so successful and to continue them, and we really do appreciate it. I know Jimmy does. What? It's all right. All right, Jimmy. What is your favorite kind or name brand of shoe, and why?
My favorite kind of shoe, personally, is a hiking boot because it allows you to surpass any type of terrain or go through any weather, and you'll be prepared to go through anything if you have a hiking boot on. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. All right. The energy is getting there. These guys have been sitting waiting for their questions, and Justin is going to bring up Miss Gabriella Finley. Again, they have their formal names and they're fantastic, but Justin and Gabby, I can't do Gabriella. I just can't do it. All right. So Justin, thank you very much as you're going through your questions there. We've got, and I believe I may have hit the jazz orchestra, but just so that we get them another round of applause. They were fantastic. They're live musicians. If you haven't had a chance to see one of our musical productions here, either an orchestra or the band or the musicals or the drama, make sure that you make some time to come out and see them. They are fantastic young musicians and actors and actresses. All set, Justin? Excellent. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah. Justin, what is your favorite Washington High School tradition?
I'd have to say my favorite high school tradition here would be the football program because of how far back it goes and everybody that's been in it before me. And to be able to play in it myself is just a blessing. And I'm thankful for it and thankful for all the memories I've made. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Justin. All right. Gabby's going to go ahead and look through her questions and pick the one that she likes best. And I have a confession to make. Gabby was in my 4th mod. And that was the year that I taught 1 through 5 straightforward. And she always had a bag of chips or Cheez-Its or cookies as she was snacking through class. And I would inevitably find myself walking around her desk just to get a little snack. So to the Finley family, wherever you happen to be, thank you very much. Really appreciate those Cheez-Its. Those were great. Excellent. You all set? I guess. All right. Ooh, what Disney villain would you be and why?
If I were a Disney villain, I would be Maleficent because she just wanted attention and she wanted to be loved by everybody, but she didn't get that. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Justin. All right, got Dean Clark, who is going to be bringing Miss Megan Manson up to the front. Excellent. All right. So who's going first, guys? Megan is going first. All right. I'm not gonna give them your secret, okay, Megan? We'll hold off until the end. So Megan came and she's like, I'm not quite sure. What am I gonna do? And we kind of talked it back, and then she goes, you know what? I've got the perfect solution to any possible question that she can be asked today. She's got the perfect answer for every question. We're gonna see if the question that she picks is gonna fit. We set?
Yeah.
As set as we will be, right?
Yep.
It's now or never.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. What is your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is green.
obviously. And I really like it. It's like a calming color and it reminds me of nature. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. All right, Dean. So I met Dean as a freshman on his first day of high school. He was in my homeroom advisory, and he came in, and if you know Dean, he doesn't say much. His actions speak louder than his words. And so as the quarter went on, I was checking grades, making sure all these freshmen were getting into the flow of things, and I looked at Dean, and I'm like, how's it going? Everything all right? He goes, I've got a 4.0. And then with the confidence of a senior, and then with the hesitancy of a freshman, he's like, I do, right? So we checked, and you did. He locked and loaded. So let me see what you got. All right. You are now finishing up a job interview when your prospective employer asks, why should I hire you? What is your response?
If I was finishing an interview with a prospective employee, I'd tell them that they should hire me because I'm very determined and I work to find the best solutions and problem solve to help the company in the best way. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Well, Katie, we're just about done, but Luke is going to bring Mahaley up here for the last set of questions. Now, for those of you who are interested, after we finish these questions, we're going to bring everybody up on stage, straight across here. We'll introduce them one last time so that they have a chance to be able to see you, because they really can't with the house lights, and you're going to get a great chance to see some pictures and take some pictures as well. And Mahaley is going to go ahead and take a look through her question. Luke is going to save the best for last. Mahaley would like to make sure that her grandparents and her parents know that, and her mom, that that she really appreciates all the hard work and support that they've offered her over the years. This is a mature young woman who is she's ready to move on to the next event and the next endeavor. But I did ask her, I was really surprised when I asked about roller coasters. It was one of those recurring questions, and she looked at me and said, I do not enjoy roller coasters. Not, I don't like them or I don't care for them. I do not enjoy roller coasters, which is perfectly fine. You don't have to. I don't understand, but you don't have to. All right. Mahaley, who has had the greatest impact on your high school career?
Who has been the greatest impact in my high school career would have to be the band directors. Throughout all of it, I've had them from the start to the finish. Ms. Smith-Heisler, Mr. Neal, and all of them from the middle school. And they've taught me amazing quotes. So one of them is E plus R equals O during squad leader training. And it's the event plus the response equals the outcome. So if you have the event, it's like a solid, like positive. And the response you have, it could be positive or negative. And so positive plus negative equals negative, but if you respond positively, it's positive plus positive equals a positive outcome. So they've taught me that and a whole bunch of other ones, but I really appreciate them for everything that they've done for me. Thank you.
So, well done, Mahaley. Nice job. All right, Luke Brailer is taking a look through his pictures, or his questions rather. I would like to thank Bennett Photography. Bennett Photography takes pictures of all of these young people as we get down for the final production, and they do all these the stock photos for us, and they are a great contributor and a great supporter of our organization. And I believe I've made my way through all of our thank yous, and as Luke is wrapping up and going through his set of questions, he and I spoke, and I've been on stage with both of Luke's older brothers. And Luke has always told me from day one that he is the best brailer. And because you're the one here now, nobody can refute that. So you're going to finish this program up strong, and I'm looking forward to your question and your answer. What did you get for us? Does this have to do with Cam's basement?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I wasn't invited to that.
All right, here we go. What is your favorite winter sport to participate in, and why?
So my favorite winter sport to participate in is definitely snowboarding. If anybody knows me, they know I love to snowboard. And I really think it's just a way I can get out there and let loose with really no limitations. And also I just get to explore nature and what's around me more than I would, and with less people around, because winter, not a lot of people like it, but I see winter as a beautiful thing, and it's something I never want to get rid of. So that's why I just enjoy snowboarding more than anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. They have asked and answered the questions that they need to. Our judges have taken notes as they've gone through. I'm going to bring them up in the same order that we had to bring them through. They actually have already rehearsed this. They know exactly how, but you get to hear it one more time. You'll get to see it. I'm going to keep calling so you can keep clapping the whole time. We're going to call these folks through, and we're going to start with Luke and Ashley. Come on down, guys. Luke Balizé and Ashley Hess. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, guys. All right. Well done. Go ahead out. Cameron Sunkel escorting Miss Destiny Stevenson. Great. Excellent. Great opportunity for the pictures to come. And then we've got Mr. Mitchell Paulus and Miss Victoria Menches. Excellent. We've got Mr. Nathan Santucci and Amaya Turley. We've got Mr. Josh Perry escorting Miss Michaela Garofalo. Mr. Zane Meyer escorting Miss Brianna Perkowski. Mr. Jacob Hess will now be escorting Miss Diamond Haverstock. Mr. Matthew Hersher escorting Miss Hannah Gump. Mr. James Hardwick Jr. escorting Miss Alexis Markley. Mr. Justin Gaddis escorting Miss Gabriella Finley. Mr. Dean Clark escorting Miss Megan Manson. And Mr. Luke Brailer escorting Miss Mahaley Neese. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2018-19 Miss Massillonian Outstanding Senior Boy Court and nominees.